The Akron Area Interfaith Council is people from different faiths and cultural traditions who have come together with the realization that we all need to know each other far more than we know. We normally seem to work in the workplace, but we do not talk about our faiths. And it is important that as the diversity of the United States increases, as the United States has become the most diverse nation in the world, we have a need to understand each other far more. As a result, the Akron Area Interfaith Council tries to promote that understanding between faiths.
My faith, my Christian faith, is stronger because of learning about other faith groups and participating in some of these activities. And to that end, I would hope that we could get other people to become involved in this in the Akron community.
We believe fundamentally that all the religions are divine chapters of one religion, which is the religion of God. And so interfaith for us is understanding we should have dialogue amongst all those religions because we all believe in basically the same God. And since there is one religion, we should have brotherhood with all these different faiths.
And when we talk about faith groups living peaceably one with another, it is a challenge. It requires tolerance, and it requires more than just simply abiding other people. I think it requires a real understanding and sympathy and empathy for the beliefs of other people.
Each Sunday we say our unison affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace,
to seek knowledge and freedom,
to support one another,
and to live in harmony with all creation.
Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
As I think of peace and peace in relationships, there are a number of accounts within the Bible of Jesus interacting with other teachers of the law, and the one that I like the most is Jesus talking to some of the teachers, and they're talking about the greatest commandment. And one of them brings up to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus says, yes, do this and you will live. And then one of them asks, well, who is our neighbor? And Jesus shares the story that is well known to many of us about the Good Samaritan. And there was a man who was on a journey, and he came across some robbers who mugged him, left him beaten, and others passed him by but didn't help out until a Samaritan person came by, healed his wounds, and paid to have him taken care of. And Jesus asked the other teachers, who in this story is the neighbor? And of course they said, obviously it's the man who extended mercy. And Jesus says, go and do likewise. And I think for peace to happen between relationships, interfaith, whatever it is, we need to have love and mercy at all times.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير.
50 years after the Second Vatican Council, when a special document was written for interreligious dialogue called Nostra Aetate, churches, Catholic churches around the world are still dealing with what it all means. Now, Pope Francis himself has raised it, especially in a few weeks ago when he was meeting in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and he addressed the Muslims, the Orthodox, the Catholic, the Jewish faith, all saying that in order to bring about peace, in order to reach out and understand and help one another, we must dialogue together. And the dialogue is not only listening, it is being open to the truth of each faith so that we can welcome it and embrace it. And of course I paraphrase that, but that was the whole text, the whole idea of his text. And indeed, shortly after Vatican II, when this Nostra Aetate was promulgated, the great Jesuit Catholic theologian Hans Küng said, and I quote, "No peace among nations without peace among the religions, and no peace among the religions without dialogue." And this seems to be catching on very quickly in many of the Catholic churches that I know of. And I have been assigned to places in Denver, to places in St. Louis, Missouri, in Cleveland, and now in Akron. And I'm happy to say that in many of those places, the pastors and the peoples of the church reach out in order to understand and work with all the people of other faiths around them. Because we've come to realize in this age of high mobility and of great communication, in fact, rapid communication, we need each other. And we need to work together for the benefit of our own, not just our own faith, but of all faiths, so that our culture can grow and become rich with the truth of all faith.
It's time for us to be able to reach out and to talk. And not only talk, but embrace. And not only embrace, recognize that those differences need not divide us in the common goal of bringing a time of peace, of wholeness and fullness to this world. So that's my hope. That's my expectation. That's my dream. I believe it to be possible, but it's going to take a lot of elbow grease. And it's going to take a lot of guts to be able to reach out and embrace one and understand where they are. And most of all, within the faith traditions, I think, it's going to take our own grounding and our own ability to understand ourselves in our own faith traditions so that we are not challenged or threatened by the faith of others.
To me, if we really want to see world peace, we need to have interfaith understanding and interfaith celebration.
Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do.